Accustomed to do an introduction here. I start with the introduction with a lovely story about a wise, compassionate, charming man, mature in years, who had two loves in his life. One of the loves was horses. Anybody share that love? Oh, yes. And his only son. Alan, we're going to have to peer around the pillar and the flowers today. I shall attempt to make eye contact. He lived in a time in historic China where neighbours came to fuss about anything that happened. So on a certain day, one of the team left the stable door open and the most magnificent stallion escaped. So you can imagine the neighbours gathering together and saying, "Oh, how unlucky. That beautiful horse has escaped." And here's the punchline that I'm going to ask you to join me in later when you see it coming. The man said, "Maybe, maybe not." That's the punchline. A week later, the stallion brought a beautiful wild mare back to the farm. The neighbours gathered and said, "Oh, how lucky you are! Your horse has come back and brought a beautiful mare." And he said, "Maybe, maybe not." Oh, and the mare took a shine to the man's only beloved son and allowed him to ride her even though she was wild. But riding one day, she slipped and fell on his leg and crushed his leg. And though he recovered, he could never walk easily again. He was effectively lame. The neighbours gathered and they said, "How unlucky you have been to get this beautiful mare and now to have your son injured." And he said, "Maybe, maybe not." In the peaceful land, it was surrounded by hostile peoples, and they came and invaded the peace. And all of the healthy people were conscripted to the army, the sons of the other neighbours and all the neighbours that were well enough to fight, and they all went off to war. But the gentleman was too mature in years and his son too injured by the fall and the horse to go to war. After the conflict was successfully won, very few of the people returned. Those who did said, "You are so lucky to have not been involved in the conflict." And he said, in our Bible reading today, we're going to have some strange blesseds. Blessed are the poor in spirit. Blessed are those who mourn. It's a bit weird, isn't it? How is it that a blessing to be mourning? But we have this frame from this story. Maybe, maybe not. We have an upside down kingdom where the Christian sees things in different ways. So understanding how morally excellent we are, we're going to have a look at some road signs now and reinterpret them. Yes, Nora. So let's have a look at the first sign, if we may, Elizabeth. There was a sign, there will be a sign appearing. Are my slides resisting you? Next one. Yeah. Now, church. It's the back row, isn't it? Look at them, school children, wonderful. How could we interpret that one? I'm not going to ask Ruth. The bumpy road, that's the correct interpretation of the sign. It also, of course, is beware of toast with 2 poached eggs. Next sign, please, Elizabeth. There's narrowing road, something we have a lot around here. But Lady Penelope, my lovely lady, what was her leg if she wants a lift from me? Could that work as well? I don't know what that's all about, but it's a bit strange. Next sign. Yes, it's a tuning fork. Beware, dangerous tuning forks. Excellent. On cue there. And the next, please. It's a boomerang. I like the way you're thinking. Or a very, very overripe banana. So before we go any further, my point here is when something bad happens to us, the Christian frame is maybe, maybe not. Maybe there's a blessing that God can bring through it. I'm not saying God causes bad things, but he's always able to make us blessed in the circumstances. Next one, please, Elizabeth. This one's a mystery to me because nobody seems to obey it. We have amazing cycle paths on the way down through Wareham when I come to Swanage to work, and all these lycra-clad, wonderful, fit people using the road instead. So just that one was for confusion's sake. What is it supposed to mean? Yeah, shared the pathway. Let the pedestrians dodge around them. Thank you, Elizabeth. Oh, that one's just to wind you up. What's that one? Don't go to Dover. Summer in Swanage. Yes. Silly season. Thank you. Elizabeth, next one, please. What do you think? Evel Knievel. It's a stunt motorcyclist, isn't it? I've never seen them on the roads, but it looks quite fun. Yeah, best to have a small car. Nearly there. We've got 13 signs. That would be a good one to learn occasionally for me. No entry, or keep quiet for a while. Next, please. I think that's go 90 miles an hour down the wrong side of the road. It's just like all rules are off, isn't it? Crazy permission, that one. Thank you. Wishful thinking. Yeah, but a nice one for us Christians, isn't it? I love the roundabout one that flashes at Morden Corner and goes slow down. I think it's a message from God. The next. Toilets for motorcyclists. And finally, I think. Oh no, two to go. What could that be? I think it's giant Jenga, actually. Giant Jenga available for the public. And Elizabeth, next one, please. I daren't say anything, dare I? I daren't say anything. So Jim, I thought you would love this exercise. I said to Jim, here's an exercise with Jim written all over it. So the next slide. Here's a slide with Jim written all over it. So as we move into the rest of the service, blessed is our theme, but blessing comes with a new set of spectacles to see opportunity in every adversity, to see God's grace when things don't go so well, and when things go so well, to remember to say thank you. We have so many blessings.